Hello everyone, and welcome to my Paladin guide. In this guide, I'm going to talk about the attributes you will need for each specialization. And the specializations I'll talk about is Hammerdin, Charger, and Smiter. First, I'll start off with the Hammerdin. The talent tree for Hammerdin will look like this. There's 5 abilities you have to maximize. First, Holy Shield. This is to increase our block chance, because as a Hammerdin, you have to aim for 75% block. In order to increase your damage with your Blessed Hammer, then there's 3 spells we have to spend 20 points into. It's Vigor, Blessed Aim, and Concentration, because these are the synergies, and those will increase the damage of your Blessed Hammer. As you're about to leave the town, then always make sure to use Holy Shield. Then you can swap to Vigor to increase your run speed, your stamina bonus, and stamina recovery rate. As you're about to engage into combat, make sure to swap to Concentration Aura. This will increase the damage of your Blessed Hammer. Next up is the attributes for Hammerdin. As you see, I've spent no points into energy, because my items will provide me with more mana. I will also use mana potions, and some of the items will give me mana on hit or after each kill. Vitality I spend a lot of points into, because you're going to tank a lot of monsters while you wait for the hammers to hit them. At the same time, you also need to spend points into dexterity to equip items, but also to increase your defense. Because you'll need a high amount of defense, or a high amount of dexterity to become block capped. And the block cap is 75%. Make sure to always use Holy Shield before you spend more points into dexterity, because you might be able to hit 75% with Holy Shield. Next, you spend a lot of points into strength to make sure you can equip some of your items. For example, the Spirit Shield requires a lot of strength. This doesn't mean you need to spend 160 strength, because some of your items might also increase your strength. So the amount of strength you have to gain unbuffed is probably anywhere between 110 to 125. Next up is the Chargerdin. This is such a fun spec, but mainly for PvP. These are the 5 spells we have to try and maximize, because not only will it increase the damage of charge, but it will also increase our defense. And as a Chargerdin, no matter if it's PvP or PvE, then you will charge in and get hit by monsters or enemies. When it comes to the charge damage, then it's synergies from Vigor and Might. So we have to spend 20 points into these 2. Might is also going to be the aura that you will use most of the time. As you see here, then you will increase your damage by 230% when you have your Might aura active. This is if you have spent 20 points into Might. I've also spent a lot of points into Defiance, because our Holy Shield will synergy. This will increase our defense, and as I mentioned in the beginning, then you need a high amount of defense to be able to charge in and not get killed. Instead of increasing your defense, then you could also spend points into the offensive tree, because at the bottom of the offensive tree you can get Fanaticism. This will increase your damage, attack speed, and attack rating, and this is such a powerful aura for Chargerdin. Next up is the attributes, and it's pretty similar to a Hammerdin. You need a lot of dexterity to be block capped. You also need a high amount of vitality, because you will be close range to other people. At the same time, you will also need a high amount of strength to be able to equip your items. And just as the Hammerdin, then energy is a no-go, because you will be able to supply your own mana with mana stolen per hit, mana after each kill, or just use a few mana potions. The last specialization I want to talk about is the Smiter. Many people like to use a Smiter when they have to do Ubers. The reason for this is because of the high amount of damage and defense a Smiter have. With the right items, you also get a high amount of Crushing Blow, Open Wounds, and Life Tap. Crushing Blow does a massive damage equal to a percentage of the enemy life, and Open Wounds causes the enemy to bleed so they can't regen health. Life tap is like life stealing, so every time you hit the enemy, you steal some life and regen health. There's 4 skills that I always maximize. It's Smite, it's Holy Shield, it's Fanaticism, and Defiance. Defiance benefit from Holy Shield, or well, they share synergy, so we get more defense in Holy Shield when you spend points into Defiance. When I'm damaging, I use Fanaticism, and this is why I have 20 points into this. And Smite, yeah well, that's maximized, because this is our main damaging ability. In the defensive auras, you also see this green box. These 4 different auras will increase our resistance. I recommend you to spend at least 1 point into one of each, because then you can swap between the auras to increase your resistance. You can also spend more points into Salvation, so whenever you're not using Fanaticism, then you can use this. The last thing is once again attributes. This time I don't want to go too much into detail, because I've already covered this for the 2 other specializations. No points into energy, because we get mana from items. Vitality you need to max out as much as possible. Strength and dexterity enough to equip items, and dexterity wise enough block to be block capped. And the block cap was 75%. But yeah, make sure to use Holy Shield before you spend too many points into dexterity, because Holy Shield also provide more block chance. Alright, so that's about it for this Paladin guide. In case you would like to see other attribute and talent trees for other classes, then make sure to check out my channel. As always, thank you for watching, have an amazing day, and remember to subscribe for more Diablo 2 content.